There's a lot of talk as we prepare for the NBA season about these exciting young rookies, Fultz and Simmons, and we're going to get Lonzo Ball and the Lakers. But there's a flip side to this list of names that's not dominating the headlines. It's players that were replaced by these rookies. There are players, prominent players, that you love, that you watch their entire NBA careers. And I say entire NBA careers because they are now no longer getting NBA checks. So we're just going to read a list of players that are right now not on rosters. Are you ready?
I am, and the reason why this fascinates me is because a lot of times the goal and the dream obviously is to make it to the NBA, and people clearly celebrate that opportunity. But man, it comes and goes so fast. And in the NBA, 20% of the people that were in the game last year won't be this year.
A lot of these players are 2 years away from starting on teams. Are you ready?
Talk about job turnover.
Chris Anderson, Matt Barnes.
What happened to that
Mike
boy?
Miller, Louis Scola, Meta World Peace, Mike Dunleavy, Boris Diaw, David Lee, Sasa Vujacic, Darren Williams, Brandon Bass, Tiago Splitter, Monta Ellis, Norris Cole, Roy Hibbert, Spencer Hawes, Gerald Henderson, Jordan Hill, Ty Lawson, Festus Ezeli, Brandon Jennings, Derek Williams, Jared Sullinger, and Michigan's Trey Burke. All of those players are no longer on NBA teams.
Think of the math. 30 players will get drafted in the first round, guaranteed contracts, so they're automatically on the squad.
They're on rosters, so 30 got to go.
And then you have the second round, another 30 players that you hope when you take somebody in the second round, they could possibly make the squad.
They don't all make the team, though.
So say 50%.
Sure, so you got 45 new spots.
That's every year. That's right off the top.
That's 10% of the league.
No question. And then you have the international prospects who come into the league.
They got stashed, and now they're coming in.
No question. And people that were playing overseas and whatnot.
So 1 out of 9 players doesn't have a job next year. And then they have these new two-way contracts. There's 60 new two-way contracts where you basically get paid $75,000 a year, but you get NBA money once you play in the NBA games.
And I'm glad you brought up the fact that a couple of these players were starting and or playing quality minutes on teams recently. It shows you the strict job turnover that takes place not only in professional sports, but in particular in the NBA, where there are only 30 teams, 15 roster spots, 450 jobs.
And we all remember the Kobe Bryant farewell tour and like the Tim Duncan retirement and like, you know, Paul Pierce and these players that are celebrated on the way out. But on this list of players are players that had great careers, players that went deep into playoffs. Some of these players have championships and they don't get celebrated. They're just gone.
I have a distinction. This is why I always talk about the score of the game and the game of life. The players in particular, the ones that get over 30, that's a successful career. I know a lot of people sit at home on their couches and they overanalyze players at the end of rosters and think, oh, I could take his spot. No, you can't. And so for a guy to play until he's 30 usually means you've played at least 5 seasons, if not more. And so for a player like Chris Anderson and Matt Barnes and Mike Miller, they had a really good career.
When you look at Trey Burke, Jared Sullinger, Brandon Jennings, like the other side of that is like, ooh, like I thought Brandon Jennings was going to be in the league for a little bit.
That's the other side of that. But here's the other part. I like to acknowledge these names because there is a chance, whether injury or performance, a lot of these guys can't end up back in the league this year.
Yes, a lot of these guys are in gyms working out with agents on the phone, uploading videos to Instagram. But there's one thing you said that I just need to discuss. You know who one of those guys is that's on the couch looking at the end of rosters and saying I could take his spot? Do you know who one of those people is?
Who?
Jalen Anthony Rose. Don't lie. Don't lie. I've been right on that couch next to you. I've seen it happen.
It depends on who's handling the ball. You know, somebody's going to do all of the work like Russell or LeBron and get me a corner three. I got to hit that. If I got to do any work or get in a defensive stance or take a charge, not going to be able to do it.
Before you're playing defense and hitting corner threes, you got to work on just getting up and down the court, Jay. Come on, man. You got to work on getting up and down the court.
Running ain't the problem. Stopping is. Jumping ain't the problem. The aches and pains when you land are.
You ain't jumping.